Hello, my name is Simon and this is the Retro News Roundup. To start, more proof that no gaming grave will remain unplundered with the announcement of a Bubsy collection now available to pre-order. The series of Bobcat starring platformers are all pretty horrible if I recall, but maybe bundling them all together will somehow make them bearable? Even the collection's subtitle, The Perfect Collection, is half-assed. As Bubsy himself might say, what could possibly go wrong? I also saw this on the Gamescom show floor last month. When will the madness end? However, something not evil spotted at Gamescom was a Vectrex Mini prototype, which doesn't have an official release date yet, but certainly is very cool indeed. And to balance out the Bubsy bile in my throat, Evercade also announced it was to release carts dedicated to Rare, Activision and Llamasoft very soon. Lovely. Let's start with a quartet of Arcade Archive titles, released as usual for the Switch and PS4, but now the PS5 as well. They were Scrambled Egg, D-Day, Aquajet and Chopper 1. On just Switch, there were 2 Egg console ports, Zack Precious Package, The Tower of Gazelle, and Diable de la Place, as well as one Yalico Famicom Ver title, Sayuki World 2, The Demon God of Heaven, and Wapham. I couldn't make up these titles if I tried. The Switch's online service also received one GameCube title, and it was a good one, beloved cult classic Chibi Robo. Then the PS1 iterations of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis shambled onto PSN. Next, a load of multi-format releases for the Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox One and PC. The House of the Dead 2 remake, Heretic and Hexen, and then Toaplan Arcade Collections Volumes 1 and 2. Those last two weren't released on PC though. And finally, one Evercade release, the Neo Geo Arcade 1 cart. First up, Hyperkin released the RetroN GX last month, which allows you to play TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine cartridges in high definition. A unit costs £80. Second, the Retroid Pocket Classic 6 SG is now available to order, with one setting you back just under $130 US. A lot of ZX Spectrum games were released last month, largely thanks to the YRGB 2025 coding competition. They included Escape from the Twilight Castle, Cindy Block, Kubanoid, ASYMMETRY, Travel Unlimited, Cubix, and Odyssey 31. There was a trio of titles for Specky's old rival the Commodore 64 though, including QUOD INIT Exit ILO, Musketeer, and Beer Rescue. Even the Amstrad CPC got into the 8-bit homebrew mood with Speed Racer and Hexapuchu. Then to round off this section, Timberman felled the Atari XL XE, Rick Dangerous DX defied the Mega Drive, Ami Klotsky blocked the Amiga, Telethugs beat up the MSX, Pengo slid onto the MSX2, Operation Hibernation emerged on the ColecoVision and MSX, and finally The Hobbit lorded it over the Amstrad CPC and ZX Spectrum. Remember when this section was basically just mobile games? Well, it's happening again, with 3 titles recovered from obsolete phone formats last month. The first was Biohazard The Operations, a Resi title released in 2007 but only in Japan, yet has now been recovered for all to check out via the Kaitai World launcher. The 2 other titles saved from becoming obsolete were Mushi Heshim Sama, Bug Panic, and The Glory of Valkyrie. 6 English language fan translations were completed last month, 2 for Saturn games. Shinrei Jusa Dusushi Tarumuramaru and Dragon Ball Z The Legend. Then there was also Clock Tower on the Wonderswan, Cowboy Bebop, Serenade of Reminiscence for PS2, Gambler Queen's Cup on the FM Towns, and finally Mushishi Amefuru Sato for the DS. Having a DS title in a Retro News Roundup has made me feel very old, I won't lie. But yes, that's all I have for this episode, and if you'd like to buy me a coffee you can via this Ko-fi link, and thanks to Chris Pafana and Woders Etz for their donations last month, it's hugely appreciated. But thanks of course to everyone hearing these words, for watching of course, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell to be notified of new videos, and make sure you take care.
Their weak point is oxygen.